Guest of honor, you can catch the full interview on YouTube@coloradorapids.com. So check that out. Anyway, I'll be doing right after this. We got a game tonight. Tribute to San Diego FC is the first 2025-27 at home. Welcome to Olympics 2 to start the second half. MLS is right.
Yeah, I think the middle of the field tonight is going to be extremely important for Rapids. This is the San Diego side who wants to play for you, wants to play for the middle of the field. If you're able to nullify that with players like Gonzalo Jefferson, Josh Atencio, Kosi Thompson, you're going to create some changes going the other way, which we will get into in my piece to match here in a minute. But the middle of the field is going to be key against the San Diego at home. You want to get the get after the San Diego side. If you ain't comfortable for you, we got them. You can bring somebody else on to repeat what you've done up to that point of the match. Don't ease it into the second half of the season.
You talk about that. Really big moves. Rapids made that. It's really bringing in center back Willie Williams. We're going to see him starting tonight. What do you expect from him?
I expect consistency from Louis Williams. I expect a little bit of life. I expect a lot of communication from him. His kind of mini preseason here for the past month has been very impressive. He's got a nice left foot. He's got a good brain for the game. He can play defense. He commands the back line. We're going to see that tonight.
Your second key, rest is right.
Yeah, San Diego playing an extremely expansive side, right? They want to play for you. They put the ball out there with 65% possession. If we do the press right, if we're able to take the ball away from them, they'll be formal in transition. They'll find 1v1s, 2v1s, 3v2s, can be efficient and play. They'll get them in positions, they'll get in good crossing positions, and you go and score goals from those opportunities because you will get them tonight when it's turning into a professional.
All right, we have the aforementioned jersey of Sir Luke's here. I want it. We got to talk about somebody. How are we going to choose?
We got a group in front of us right now with big eyes when it's Luke's wearing this jersey, and I totally get it.
Let's just jump in.
There it is! They got caught in the lights!
Get on! Now we're about to see you coming up next.
The order. A secret age tradition. It's not just a Mexican fashion. It's a connection to the club and its fans. From the tailgate to the pitch, to supporters, to the man of the match. The order is everyone on the match.
Dylan has been a C38 member for 2 years and helps with his people. Yes, tonight's forward will be on display outside of the Dales Bar throughout the match. And be given to tonight's man of the match. Solid trophy case in the South Bank and check it out. Make sure to stick around for the award ceremony after the match. Congratulations, Dylan, for being tonight's award captain.
Bienvenidos a Stanford, California.
It's the LA Galaxy and San Jose Earthquakes.
El remate. Toma, papá. ¡Qué golazo!
It will be Marco Royce. Oh! Brilliant! Goal!
Big time matchup and rivalry matchup, the Cali Classico.
of this season after a record-breaking one in 2025. And the Colorado Rapids, the change of intensity in the press and the structure under Matt Wells.
Had a heavy emphasis on wanting to see their team react to adversity better. And we'll get a chance to see, because most certainly both teams will face some adversity at some point here tonight. For Matt Wells in Colorado, he was quick to point out their record when scoring first is almost impeccable, but on the flip side, when conceding first, they've lost every single game. And he talked a lot about the body language. Mikey Varas himself even talked about his own body language for San Diego when things don't go the way that they would like. And a lot of time to work on it during the summer break. San Diego have it on the right-hand side now for Verhoeven. Youth on both of these sides maybe plays into that as well, Devin.
Well, youth comes with some immaturity, right? You become overly emotional. That's where you look to guys, if you're San Diego, Chris McVeigh on the back line, Jeppe Tverskov. The idea that communication and success follows because of all the experience they bring with them. The addition of Blake Williams for the Colorado Rapids at the left center back position. You know, this game is never going to go the way that you want the full 90. It's finding a way through adversity with the ball at your feet when you're being decimated on the defensive side of the ball. The whole bend don't break idea. And there were way too many fractures in the early start of this year.
Now, we just saw a giveaway from goalkeeper CJ Dos Santos for San Diego. It's one of the things we know both of these sides will look to play out of the pressure. And Colorado keen on trying to pin San Diego in right now. Visitors earn a throw-in. Dos Santos back from another facial injury. Suffered a couple of those over the last 2 seasons. Rob Holding, a veteran. Much of his career at Arsenal in London. Paxton Aronson. Navajo.
What a ball.
Aronson trying to track it down before it carries out. He does so. Aronson driving toward the byline, puts it across. Tverskov there, pops it up into the air and behind for a corner kick.
Timing a bit off on the far side between Aronson and Sealy, but love the vision by Rafa Navajo down into the pocket. And there are so many movements for this Rapids team that have tremendously evolved on the attacking side of the ball, moving back to front in 2026. It's a good look at one of them. Just slight little tweaks, a better chat. Movement is coming, and we got more numbers in the box. Good shot on goal.
First corner on the night from Colorado toward the back post. It goes. It's turned behind by Ingvarsson.
Just a ton of bodies in the mixer, rotating to the back post. Well done. Reggie Cannon, just a little bit of pressure over the back shoulder, knows that he's not going to be able to get to it. Doesn't have the trajectory or right amount of push to get up high with the power to explode through that frame, and instead earns his team a corner. Very well done.
This time it'll be Paxton Aronson to take it. Referee Chris Penso having a word. Navajo and Verhoeven. By Aronson, punched away with a right hand by Dos Santos, who's wearing the face mask. I mentioned the injury that he suffered back on May 2nd. He left late in that match with what was described as a nose injury. And he had a fractured cheek that he suffered in the playoffs back in 2025 as well. Colorado trying to keep it in. This one carries out for a goal kick. This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by AT&T as Dos Santos called on to defend an early corner.
I give him credit, even with the slight injury that he's working through. Brave in the box, all the bodies around him. I appreciated the accountability aspect from head coach Mikey Vadas, talking about what have been the trials and tribulations of the goalkeeping position this year, working through those moments, reinstilling faith. CJ Dos Santos.
Seeley trying to slide it through. It bounces out to Aronson, back to Seeley. This is the newcomer, Lloyd Williams, over to the left-hand side. Williams in place of Harrington. Lucas Harrington, one of the real stars in Major League Soccer during this World Cup, as he featured in 2 big matches for Australia. Had some time off after coming back from the World Cup, so not quite fully fit to return here today. He is on the bench for Colorado, amidst all sorts of speculation and reports that big teams in England and Spain are interested in the young Australian.
The first teenager ever to start a World Cup game. And a back-to-back final group play for Australia men's national team against Paraguay, and then round of 32 loss, took a penalty. Pretty down on himself after missing. Exited in a 5-3 fashion. But I think it's the flexibility you get out of a center back core now, that whether it's an 18-year-old up-and-comer Lucas Harrington, the stable Eddie and Rob Holding, or the new addition of Lloyd Williams, that dominant left-sided center back. You've got the ability to sort of morph the identity of how you want to attack the opposition off that defensive line now.
Moment of possession for Colorado here as they swing it through the midfield back to Holding. Aronson popping over to the right-hand side to corral this one.
I said to you coming into this match, you know, the absence of Jackson Travis, picked up an ankle injury. They'll reevaluate him next week. Miguel Novato on a yellow card accumulation suspension. He's unavailable. Kosi Thompson, third choice at left back. You do get him on that inversion up into the midfield. He's going to squeeze Anders Dreyer. Within that, you've got a decision to make on the back line when you're Verhoeven about where the presence is popping out. Do you have an Atencio flanking it, or do you have to go with Manungo? It's one of those things where, as a manager, you never want to have to worry about going that deep into your bench, but you also get something out of it, right? And that versatility of Kosi Thompson as a defender, number one, but in the build and how you benefit from it, certainly something you want to keep an eye on over the course of the evening.
You know, San Diego will try to play out of this pressure, so this is something certainly to watch. As Colorado looking to use that altitude in their favor, a high pressure, something that Matt Wells really wants to do. San Diego will be stubborn in this regard, and Colorado have been good at winning the ball back in these types of situations. And they do it right here. Cannon to Seeley. Now can they turn it into a chance? Seeley, relatively comfortable save in the end for Dos Santos.
Sloppy off the back line for San Diego, to be fair. Not the best decision off that right flank for the Rapids. Stop me if you've heard that before. Unfortunately, a pretty big part of both of these teams' identities. 14, 15 games in before a stoppage of play due to World Cup.
Yeah, job number one for Matt Wells in the system, winning the ball high up the pitch, but job number two is what you do with it when you win the ball. That's been the problem for the Rapids.
I mean, the numbers that he was throwing at us in our conversation midweek about, you know, the gains that you get on high-intensity presses, where they're out on the field, to lead the league in high-intensity presses, be the number one team that produces the most in that fashion, but you're number 20 in total shots. That's a terrible stat to follow. So it gives you an idea that, yeah, back to front, they get about 75% of the way up the field, whether in their overall build or on defensive pressure. But then it starts to go south. They struggle with their runs, secondary box entries, just overall decision-making, which is why the numbers didn't follow.
Here's a dangerous ball in, headed away by McVeigh.
It's a good problem to have, though. You've at least gotten there, right? You're not worrying about, yeah, you're not worrying about getting over a half line. You're getting into advanced positions. The other side of that, though, is that eventually this is going to have to turn. You can make the argument about the identity changing under the head coach, about what the press is, how their build looks, but they have to start producing numbers or they're going to fall behind.
Flag stays down for now as Aronson gets into the penalty area, cutting it back. It's turned behind by Dua. Now the flag does come up at the end of the sequence. Aronson, he's been lurking along that back line, been offside a couple of times here.
Struggling with timing. I like him in that half space, though. This is where you want him. Not in an offside position, of course, but forward facing, the ability to drive opponents, the bread and butter for Paxton Aronson. It's so much fun to watch him with the ball at his feet, just exploding in the spaces, dragging players with him.
That's why Colorado brought him in from Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. Signed a 5-year contract at the time. This one carries out. San Diego looking a little sloppy so far, playing out of the back.
This is exactly what we saw earlier this year, where understanding Luca Bambino's on a suspension as well, but Kieran Sargent in for Hoven. We've seen both center backs make mistakes as well. Those are simple balls they're giving away. Some nerves coming early into this game. I thought Matt Wells actually depicted it quite well. He said, you know, nerves lead to adrenaline, and adrenaline, if you don't handle it appropriately, that creates tension. And for two tactically minded teams that want the ball and want to play, you tighten yourself up. That does not make for a free-flowing nature that you're going to benefit from.
Atencio comes streaking down the left-hand side. Veteran Godoy pokes it away, but only as far as Kosi Thompson. His ball in was off the mark, intended for Aronson, gathered by Dos Santos. Well, we said it, and we're seeing it in the first 12.5 minutes of this one. It's going to be end-to-end, you have to figure, because both of these teams love to step up and press, and both of these teams are not afraid to try to play through the press. And here's another giveaway up high by Colorado. Failed to do anything with it in the immediate aftermath. Some themes we discussed early on coming to fruition in the early going. Here's Cannon. Flicked over the top by Thompson, who we've seen him tucking centrally, you know, from that left back position when Colorado are in possession. You talked about him bringing something a little different to the table at that left back. Becoming more in vogue in the global game these days, using the fullback sometimes to come centrally as part of the build-up. San Diego trying to work through the press. It's Godoy. He's chipping it over the top, looking for Invarksen. Instead, it's going to run to Verhoeven, right-hand side, the 20-year-old. Drives the ball in, but it's straight into the arms of Hansen, the keeper.
That's better overall. That actually started with a clean decision by Manu Dua not to force it into the midfield. Way too much pressure. Center back rotates to the far side. And then the metronome himself, Paul Godoy, really well done to release down into the channel. Moments like that where you aren't stubborn. You don't force that initial line of pressure because you want to maintain possession. You're still able to keep the ball, but you recycle it, move another direction, force the opponent to respond to you. Much better sequence for the visitors.
Now San Diego's turn to try to dial up the pressure, and here's an awkward one. Get all the way in front of the corner flag. Cannon's able to keep it in. And up the line to Sealy. Dua brings it down for San Diego. Takes a little shove from Atencio and earns the foul. Well, when it comes to that pressure and the up-tempo style, you know, you wonder how the altitude plays in a match like this. And I asked Mikey Varas about that. What do you say to your team? How do you prepare them? And take a look at the foul here again. He said, it's going to suck. Yeah. And just deal with it. You know, sometimes when you're playing sports, it's not fun. Sometimes you got to suffer. What do you want me to say? You don't deny it. You just own it and move forward.
Yeah, it's not as if it's a taper for the Tour de France where you can throw on O2 masks, sleep in hyperbaric chambers, and really acclimatize yourself for weeks on end to what you're going to endure over and over again. It's 90 minutes, right? Your lungs are going to burn. Your legs are going to feel heavier than normal. You got to push through it. plain and simple.
I really appreciated the matter-of-fact nature that Mikey gave us that answer. San Diego knocking it around now. It's a step again from the newcomer, Loic Williams. Kept in by Colorado. Williams has really drawn some high praise from people here in Colorado. They brought him in, signed him to a deal in late March, but had to stay with his team Granada until that season was over. So he's been training with Colorado for about a month now. Another one of the benefits of this extended break.
And the unicorn, left-footed center back. Decent pace. They said he thrives in pressure-packed situations, open field defending. I think you go a step further than that, though. We talked about this part when targeting him in the lineup. The leadership aspect for such a young group. You know, you see the brilliant start that was for this team in all competitions. 5 wins in their first 8, only 2 in their next 10. They had trouble. Talk about adversity for San Diego, getting through tough times. And a lot of that was the inability to help continue to mold and teach young minds, because they just lack training sessions. You can make that argument for 30-year-olds who need a little bit more of a break. You know, through those first 8 games, every single game had at least 6 days in between, if not more. The next 10 games, only once did they have a week taper. Every other rest was 3 or 4 days. The mistakes that a 30-year-old makes compared to a 22-year-old, vastly different. The confidence level that comes along with it. So that constant guiding light that Loic Williams can bring to the lineup is really what you want to keep an eye on.
Manugu tracking this one down for Colorado. Drives a ball in toward the 6, and there's a header turned wide by Sealy. But Chad, there's not going to be a lot of time to rest in the matches coming up with the congestion of fixtures the rest of the way after this long break.
It's 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. Leagues Cup is going to come into it for some of these teams. Colorado Rapids, they'll have Open Cup, semi-final date with St. Louis City in a few weeks' time.
Anders Dreyer giving chase against Williams here. Dreyer gets there first, but Williams poked it away only for a moment. Dreyer right on the touchline. Switch play over Mighton. Able to keep it in bounds at least. Pass off the mark intended for Godoy, taken by Colorado. Jedger on his pass. One back by McVeigh. There's a late tackle and a foul and a yellow card on the San Diego center back.
Certainly one that Chris McVeigh would like to have back. They had numbers in, even with the touch that got away from him. That ball's only going negative. Going to move against the overall run of play. Rafa Navajo sacrificing himself in the process.
Well, cards have been an issue for San Diego this year, particularly the red cards, more than anybody in Major League Soccer. McVeigh himself has already had a couple of red cards this year, so he'll have to make sure he's careful the rest of the way on this one. Set piece coming up for Colorado. Aronson plays it laterally. Cannon. Now driven in. Godoy flicks away, then on by Dua. Dua is fouled by holding. Dua still down on the ground. Formula One heads to the Hungarian for the Hungarian Grand Prix, the final race before the summer break. The championship battle continues at one of Formula One's most tightest, twistiest, and technical circuits, where overtaking is nearly impossible and precision and strategy are often the keys to victory. Watch it live Sunday, July 26th at 9 o'clock Eastern Time in the morning on Apple TV, the new U.S. home of Formula One.
Here, I thought that was going to be too much of a tongue twister for you to talk through.
Hungary.
Great job.
Thank you. Wry smile from Chris Penso, the referee, as the foul was called. Yepi Tverskov was taken down. Boy, how glad are San Diego to have Tverskov back in the starting 11 from injury.
For me, he's top 2 in the league. You could make the argument for the number 1 in terms of playing that single pivot position. The cleanliness of his decision making, his movement off the ball that a lot of people don't give enough credit to because of the space that he makes for others. And this is about persistent infringement. 3 times in about 3 minutes, maybe a little bit less for the Colorado Rapids. Mikey Veras had just been up in the technical area, grabbed the ear of the 4th official, our head referee Penso. He said, "I'm on it." And that's why he's pulled the yellow here on Williams. There'll be moments like this where he pulls to the outside, right? If Tverskov doesn't initiate that move to the near channel, you don't have the ability to drop Ingvarsson down into the pocket, let him work through it.
Dreyer called for the foul here, wrestling his way around Williams. Now we got a center back on both sides already on a yellow, 22 minutes into this match. Tug on the arm there.
He's got great first reaction. Luke Williams does. The moment around the 15-minute mark, 1-on-1 with Anders Dreyer. 5-7 yards restricted on the initial step, and able to catch back up. There's another one where good first tempo initiated and then top end speed acquired.
Aronson showing his pace, driving forward. That was deflected by McVeigh, covered by Dos Santos. Tverskov, we mentioned his injury. He's been out since April 25th, and it's a line splitting pass together here as San Diego working to the near side. Verhoeven. Another indication in this build-up of why they are so keen to have Tverskov back in that midfield. And now, poor pass by Balakar, taken away by Colorado, and it's Reggie Cannon driving forward, now checking his run. San Diego stepping the pressure forward now. Jedgerman goes all the way back to the goalkeeper, Hansen. Colorado, which had just 1 win in their last 8. Going into that summer break. There are some teams that had momentum when the break was over. We talked to St. Louis last weekend, and Juan DeMay said there's no momentum when you don't have any motion. These are 2 sides that were happy for the break, and now Navajo runs through the arm tackle of Tverskov, then has it knocked away by Godoy. Referee says play on. Manungu trying to get around Verhoeven, cuts it across, dangerous ball, side-footed away by Dua. Godoy puts it into a dangerous spot. San Diego come away with it though, and it's Dreyer in transition, looking for support, serves it in, flipped up into the air by Cannon, and it'll trickle out for a throw-in. The player comparison is presented by Celsius, pure passion and maximum energy with 0 sugar. We look at the touches by a couple of midfielders, Aronson and Tverskov.
Both managers will be happy with the location where those touches are taking place. Paxton Aronson and Yepi Tverskov. on both sides of the ball. What I'd like to see for the Rapids, though, is to benefit more from Aaronson's advanced position. We just saw it a second ago, the intensity being matched by some of these movements moving up high. You release Reggie Cannon off the right flank, did a really good job of stretching the game, but the midfield didn't follow. And so all of a sudden, Hapa Navajo is off by its lonesome. You got to step on it. Not only do you slow the game down, in tow you allow San Diego FC to then reorganize defensively. Not as much of a conversation for Jeppe Tverskov, he's going to lead his team in touches, probably passer efficiency rating. The ability of him to continue to create moments off the ball, which he's been able to do 26 minutes in, so important, because he's going to get double teamed. They're going to close space down. But his squad will benefit for him then releasing off to then open up space for others.
Godoy plays it back to Dua. Well, as we're back from the World Cup and Major League Soccer's got everybody in action tonight, some of the real features of this league, so many reasons to enjoy Major League Soccer, and one of them being the investment in young players. And San Diego certainly toward the top of the list in clubs in that regard. Valakari is now taken down. That's going to be a booking for Reggie Cannon. So now half of the Colorado backline on yellow cards between Cannon and Williams.
It's interesting for Reggie Cannon that he tries to pull across his body, exposing the ball in the process. If it goes wrong, as it has, it puts his team in a bad spot. Almost immediately have to initiate contact. The fact that, to your point, Lloyd Williams and Reggie Cannon now both on a yellow, with the advanced line that they hold defensively, I wouldn't mind San Diego testing a little bit more direct, playing Alex Mike, start to release a little bit more on the diagonal into the channel, see if you can initiate even further contact, pull something out of it. If not, at least open the game up.
Here's Verhoeven. Tverskov. Channel that was intended for Godoy. Well off his line to flick it forward. Godoy can do so much still at 36 years old. To track that ball down might be a little ambitious. Pressure again from Colorado, and they take it away. Here's Cannon. Flipping it in. Headed away by McVeigh. In the case of Colorado, winning the ball in a dangerous area, but not coming up with much as a result. Now is Valakari. Over the top, intended for Dreyer. Didn't quite get a touch to it, not allowed it to skip on to the goalkeeper. Minute here in Commerce City. Not really much in the way of chances for either side in the early going. Moments of high pressure and giveaways, but neither side's really turned that into much of a clear-cut chance so far.
The acknowledgement for the Rapids of which space is available and when to step into it. Far off pace right now. And you watch the build, right side of your screen coming left. Really good movement by Aronson onto the front line. When they invert Kosi Thompson, you release Atencio, and then there's this 15-yard gap between the back line and what is an offensive presence. They're not playing into it. And instead, very slow, not methodical nature is allowing San Diego FC to keep the pressure at bay. There you go, that's better.
And Navajo, cutting diagonally, Navajo. Takes a long-range effort, skipping wide of the target. Third shot attempt for Colorado. Came a transition that time.
That's better overall, though. Just clean decision-making. The rate much higher. And as you move faster, more space opens up. All of a sudden, San Diego FC holding their breath. Defensive transitions really struggle within it. But again, the idea that you're able to create these numbers, and the opportunity you're getting is a strike from 25 yards out. You know, that's where they have to be more dynamic. The run's branching off of Hapa Navajo so that he's not taking one from distance, and instead one extra pass, release him into the box. Get him a much higher efficiency of chance put in front of him.
Don't miss your chance to see the biggest stars in North American soccer fresh off a global summer of soccer at the 2026 MLS All-Star Game presented by Chime in Charlotte, July 29th as MLS takes on Liga MX. Buy your tickets now on Ticketmaster. See Anders Dreyer featuring in that All-Star game.
And we'll get to pick up the pieces in Charlotte at the beginning of the League's Cup. You see the Ashley Westwood bobblehead doll?
I've not seen that.
Yeah, it's nice. I may or may not have put in a request for one.
Such a good atmosphere in Charlotte. Liga MX, a lot of heroes from that Mexican national team who captivated their nation in their run in the World Cup before crashing out heroically against England. Sealy. Tensio trying to pass through, was well read by Dua. And a foul. These are the team benches built by the Home Depot. And for the Colorado Rapids, we've talked about him a couple of times, Lucas Harrington, the 18-year-old, held the ball in many ways at the World Cup. Evan mentioned it, first teenager, youngest player ever in terms of Major League Soccer to make a start in the World Cup. Played 2 really good games. Had that missed penalty at the end. But as his coach pointed out, a young player with the courage to step up and take that penalty when maybe some veterans weren't. Richard Cannon read that pass and took it away. Whose is it?
San Diego. That's nice pressure in the middle.
Chris Pinto originally pointed in the opposite direction. And now out for a goal kick.
Impressively young talent you have the defending side of the ball for both of these teams. Harrington at the center back spot, fresh off his World Cup debut, just 18 years of age. Manu Dua moments ago. Wise beyond their years, the composure that they present to their team on that back line. Verhoeven's 20, Kieran Sargent 23. I mean, it's crazy what we have in MLS right now.
Guys like Pedro Soma on the bench, 20 years old for San Diego. This one over the head, the aforementioned Sargent. In front of the corner flag, Sealy. Now Cannon, he'll drive it in. Dua heads away. Tryer's pass was off the mark, taken right back by Colorado. San Diego still looking for their first shot attempt to this match, and it's Colorado taking it away once again. Through for Aronson, cutting it back, dangerous one. Dua, right where he's supposed to be once again for San Diego defensively. He's had a lot of interactions in the penalty area. Now the foul called against Cannon.
If I'm Hapa Navajo and Aronson right now, I'm having a conversation because we talk about the Colorado Rapids getting to the right spot. That was a moment where anybody in this stadium and watching this game could have told you where Aronson was going to put that ball. I don't blame him for that. But the variability of how you're going to find success, Hapa Navajo immediately pointed up high. He wants something different right now, and they need something different. The imagination needs to take a step up right now. A bit too predictable.
Aronson trying to play that ball through to Sealy. It was well read by Kieran Sargent.
Simple little moments in that build for the Rapids, Nate, where they've done everything right. Aronson gets to the byline, he's exploding, he's face forward, but just a subtle tweak, and it's Navajo going, hey, next time you work down in, I've made that front post run 3 times. Dua's on it, on the coverage. You can't get him on the cutback. If it's just me, go up high and let me go attack it that way. I've got the advantage if you go vertical. It's not going to be every single play,
Right.
but it's simple little lines of communication that will start to help this team be more successful going forward.
Mighton with a turn of pace, driving forward, shoots it to the right-hand side, and Verhoeven. Now he's going to wait for some support. Tverskov, now back to Verhoeven. San Diego looking to take a little sting out of the game, but this is one of the areas where they can get bogged down. The ball starts moving a little too slowly. Evan, you mentioned the tempo at the outset that you want to see from the San Diego side. This is an offside flag against St. Bartson.
It's certainly been better, say. 37 minutes in, wouldn't say that it's been great. We've seen the San Diego team firsthand a couple of times this year. To your point, normally at a snail's pace. You want to beat this Rapids team defensively. They will expose themselves. You got to move quick. Got to commit numbers forward. They have the pace up high, especially with Dreyer and Alex Mighton. Not as much within the midfield conversation. If you break down a match and how exciting it is based on scoring chances, this one has not had it so far. 0 shots for San Diego, so of course that equals out to a 0 expected goals. 0.17 for Colorado so far as Nuga muscled off the ball by McVeigh. So even the 3 shot attempts that Colorado have been speculative scoring opportunities at best. Turnover by San Diego. Matt Wells is at the edge of his penalty area shouting encouragement for his Rapids team to come driving forward. Seeley. Pass was off mark for Erickson, but he keeps it alive for the Rapids. Seeley lost his footing. Atencio, this little pullback. Navajo trying to leave it. Dreyer swings the foot through it. Love the idea. It's a beautiful touch by Atencio to work around the pressure in the midfield. Good vision by Navajo, and unfortunately Kosi Thompson just out of his element in that advanced role. This is what Matt Wells has been very clear about. We saw it 14 games into the season where these moments right here, kind of where it stalls out. Slow decision making, the wrong runs aren't happening. And within that, players out of position, right? We talk about Kosi Thompson and the silver lining of how you can utilize him in the build. You know, link-up play that culminates in a shot opportunity 20 yards out between Rafa Navajo, Josh Atencio, Aronson, and Kosi Thompson. Out of those 4 players, Thompson's probably not the #1 preferred choice, right? Mm-hmm. He's looking to be the benefactor of the overall build, not necessarily the chance put in front.
Maybe not the #1 or two option.
Your words, not mine.
But it's no disrespect. All due respect.
I said with all due respect.
Right. With all due respect. This match has been a little cagey so far. 40 minutes in.
He's sticking this thing down in the corner with Manungu. Yeah.
Atencio. Now Navajo. Manungu, is he onside? He's in the penalty area. He takes a shot, and he puts it in the top corner. The offside flag does come up in the end. Manungu doesn't realize it yet. Now he does. But the referee allowed the play to continue, so of course it will be checked.
Manungu's definitely in an offside position. The first ball that's played through, he's already off. That's the ball that should have been put down on the channel. When you play short, he never reestablishes himself in an onside position. So it's a good ball by Rafa Navarro, but he's got to hold it. Holds it for another second. Madouba is still going to be in a 2v1 situation. Munungo would still end up with the opportunity to go attack goal, and instead, same old story, unfortunately, for the Rapids.
So best chance of the night, but was clearly offside. So we remain scoreless. Mighten now for San Diego. Driving forward into trouble. Lost his control.
Still go back to the fact that they're getting there. You know, if you look at the Rapids and the build, if you're Matt Wells and you walk in at halftime, the most difficult part is to actually get into those positions. They're doing it. Right? That's just a timing issue. You know, a player down underneath Munungo, telling him to hold his run, telling Rafa Navarro to hold it. Also understanding that when we address the youth within this group, we use words like immature, emotional. Decision-making also comes with frustration in moments like this, where you've had, what, 5 sequences in the first half that have either ended up with a poor decision overall or in an offside position. You're still getting it.
It's good build from San Diego. Ingvarsson had picked out Valakari. He's got support and Sargent down the left-hand side. That did not end as well as it started for San Diego. Now for a goal kick.
It's really the first time we've seen Kieran Sargent that high up the pitch. More of a right side dominant release tonight with Verhoeven. And build 3 off the back line for San Diego FC. Alex Mighton within that hasn't gotten high enough. You know, the dynamic runs that you could get out of Anders Dreyer need to be more frequent here. Matt Wells very clear that his concern defensively relied a lot on his positioning, Anders Dreyer, and how different of locations he could pop up in, right? It starts on the right, pops into the 10. The next thing you know, he's sitting in that 6-8 pivot in the build for San Diego FC. You continue to move, you give more freedom to the front line. More difficult for the Rapids to mark on the back line.
Aronson draws a couple of defenders and is able to sneak it through to Sealy. Dua pokes it away for a throw-in. These are the top 2 teams in the Western Conference when it comes to possession. So it's going to be interesting to see who could win that battle, and so far it's 50-50 between the 2 sides. Colorado had at least generated a few shot attempts, nothing yet from San Diego in that regard, and there's a foul. Jedron was the guilty party that time. He's not going to get a yellow card. He'll get a talking to, though, from Chris Penso. There's Anders Dreyer. Sargent left-hand side. Shouldn't be much stoppage time to close out this first half. There's Dreyer. And in fact, 1 minute stoppage time to close out this first half. Been a feeling out process for both of these sides so far. It's 60 days since they both last played competitive matches back on May 23rd. You can play all the friendlies you want, which both sides did, but it's a little return to play rustiness going on as well in this match.
Certainly both conversations is another giveaway off the back line for San Diego FC. Mikey Veras, he's still going to want a higher level of tempo within his group. Key topic coming in. Lacks variability up high. With Colorado Rapids executing in the final third. Also addressed in the opening portion of this match between the two Western Conference dominant possessional teams.
Driven in. Dos Santos is able to grab it. It was won back by Ojejeron. And that's going to do it for the first half. And both sides might be keen to get into the dressing room and work on some things here. Georgie thought he had a goal. That was allowed for offside. That was about the only real chance we saw in the first 45 minutes. Halftime coming up from Commerce City.
Lucky. I taught you how to survive in the life that you were born into.
Excuse me, sir, can you help me?
We'll get you somewhere safe.
Thank you.
Where's my money? And my son?
I don't know.
This is not going to go the way you think it will.
I'm done running. From you, from anyone.
There's nothing like celebrating a big play. But now, we're celebrating something bigger than sports.
Love, you're mine.
Love?
You're mine.
You're training your mind as much as you're training your body.
For me, just stay grounded. Be with the people who make my mental health better and not worse.
So when you see us hit this, it's a reminder to
love.
You're mine.
delantero la semana pasada. Hoy aparece Harper más como un centro delantero que él jugó como volante por izquierda en el partido pasado. Entonces, yo digo que son rotaciones que confunden al rival, pero a veces no es fácil tenerlos mentalmente tan exactos. Y ahí los ves, la infusora está luego por derecha, Harper como centro delantero por izquierda. Así empezar.
Pressure they can put on their opponent. And Mikey Veras will certainly have had the conversation at halftime within his group about being more dynamic going forward. Quite stale with their ideas on the attacking end of the football, and certainly cleaning up their possessional phases working off the back line. They were very fortunate in the opening 45 minutes that they didn't cough one up, because they coughed a couple of balls up. A couple of our Rapids just could not capitalize on it.
And that's been a disturbing trend, according to Matt Wells, the head coach of the Rapids, through the course of this season. They've been winning the ball high up the pitch, but they haven't turned it into many chances, and both sides a little slow in returning back to the field now. And it seems a little apropos with the way things When Matt Wells there having a conversation with Paxton Aronson. He's a likely candidate to jumpstart things. Always a high-energy player. Had a couple of good runs into half spaces in the first half, but just found himself slightly offside. Georgie Manungu scored a goal, but that was from an offside position as well. And a couple of players for San Diego who finished off the first half of the season in good form. Marcus Ingvartsen, who scored 6 goals over the last 5 games before the summer break. And then Anders Dreyer, who leads MLS coming into the second half of the season with 9 assists. Neither one really had a chance to get much inside the penalty area in the first half of this game. In fact, San Diego registered 0 touches inside the Rapids penalty area in the first 45 minutes of this one. We'll see how much changes here to start off the second half. The way Matt Wells put it to us, 2 sides in false positions in the table. That's the way he described it. 12th place and 13th place. He believes both these teams will be much higher up the table when it's all said and done in 2026. No personnel changes from either side. Chris Penso's waiting for both teams to get out here and get ready to get on with it. And it'll be Colorado in possession to start the second half. And with that, away we go. Commerce City, Colorado. Rapids and San Diego scoreless. Start off this second half. Aho flicks the header forward. It's covered by Sargent, who sends it all the way back to Dos Santos. Holding drops the header down. It's taken by Ojejeron. Now Mighton for San Diego. It's close to that penalty area. Mighton again. Tverskov. Godoy knocked away by Atencio. McVeigh trying to drop it in. That's out for a goal kick.
The necessity of success here, scheduling-wise, for the Colorado Rapids. The run of games that they have is quite interesting. You see San Diego, St. Louis City, Austin, Sporting Kansas City. They broke it down into this 4-game stretch. There's a Galaxy after that, but 5 of the 7 teams that are either occupying the final playoff position all the way down to the bottom of the Western Conference. A unique opportunity for the Rapids to gain on the playoff teams in front of them, absolutely, but single-handedly distance themselves from opposition around them in the process. It's a very different conversation when we talk about this San Diego FC team dealing with Colorado, but also Dallas and Minnesota prior to the start of Leagues Cup. These 2 teams much higher up in the standings in the West.
And that Leagues Cup begins with a trip to the Azteca,
yeah,
by
good
the
luck.
way. So that's not going to be any easier. The foul on Atencio. Tried a first-time diagonal switch that was intercepted by Cannon. Sargent out for a throw-in. This is the win probability. Favored Colorado to start the match, still does, just slightly less so now that we're halfway through the proceedings and still no score. We have seen a team in Major League Soccer win a match without ever registering a shot. That was Sporting Kansas City last year.
Listen, let's leave your roots out of this one, please.
I'm just pointing out, I believe that the all-time record check with the research department on this, but I believe the all-time record of teams in MLS history who win an entire game without registering a shot is 1-1-1, if you can believe that. Let's hope we don't cover that ground. Here comes Colorado. Navajo, twisting, turning, shooting. Wide. But a shot from inside the penalty area for Colorado.
It's beautifully well done by Dante Sealy, but as this ball comes to the top of the 18, two players occupying similar space and confusion that then ensues. Watch Atencio on the crossing pattern, wants it at his feet to be able to attack and take the touch in front. That's the better look, to be honest, especially with the way that McVay was sliding the opposite direction. Gets the forward-thinking ball in front, sets himself up to go direct on goal. Instead, it's 3 touches, Navajo, and doesn't hit the target. Indecision getting in the way once again for the Rapids.
San Diego looking to extend their pressure here, but they don't do so collectively, so Colorado easily play through it. Manungo on the left-hand side. Cannon. Now Sealy. Back to Cannon. Cutting it back. Turned behind by Tverskov in the corner. This will be the 3rd corner on the night for Colorado. Dante Sealy acquired from Montreal over the winter months. Take this left-footed in swinger. By Sealy, toward the back post, punched away by Dos Santos.
Recognizing we're just 50 minutes into the game. Great reintroduction of Cedar Dos Santos into the squad. Nice clean decisions over the course of the night. Couple in that fashion. Crowded 6-yard box and good presence to parry away.
And again, if you're just joining us, Dos Santos was forced out of the game on May 2nd with a nose injury against LAFC. Play again the rest of the first half of the season before the summer break. He also suffered a fractured cheekbone back in the playoffs in 2025. Had a broken hand in 2024. It's just been some bad luck from Dos Santos on the injury front. He's had to be brave a couple of times on corner kicks today. Here's where we see it just bogged down here. You know, San Diego setting up in that mid-block, and you got both sides trying to be a little pragmatic and cautious. Godoy pounces on this ball. Valakari. Tverskov was dispossessed by Atencio. Sealy. Nice little ball for Aronson. Dua there. Does well to get away from Aronson and earns the foul.
So sure there was a ton in there on the Dua. But Paxton Aronson thought he had a really good angle on the center back, and at least from our vantage point, felt like his feet got tied up underneath him. Certainly the peanut gallery feels the same.
This exclusive NetCam replay is brought to you by AT&T. Santos has used that right hand to punch away a couple of times on corners tonight. Another misplay from San Diego leads to a throw-in for Colorado. While this match has lacked some sizzle, how much credit should we give to the organization, maybe defensively, of both of these sides so far?
More so on San Diego's side, to be fair. Specifically in moments like this, these mid-block spaces, as they call it. The problem within all of it is the rapidity at which the Rapids are not attacking. They move the ball faster, it's only going to benefit them. And And Mikey Veras is very concerned about the tempo of what the Rapids can present. They play fast. We're in trouble, he said.
Here we come. Aronson, side netting. It was touched last by San Diego. So a corner coming up. You're suggesting the Rapids should play more rapidly?
Yeah, there you go. They play faster. That ball's got to come sooner, too. Aronson slows it down, get the deflection out of it. The opportunity closes itself as well. They don't want to play in deep line spaces. San Diego FC can't chase all over the field. Move the ball faster, change the shape of San Diego, and they have just historically struggled within that.
It's an awkward one from McVeigh. Dos Santos tries to come out for it. He does end up coming down with it. It was the newcomer, Williams, who went up for it. He's grabbing at his legs, so there's a center back missing defensively for Colorado now. We'll see if San Diego can attack that space as Williams now retreats. Holding with a sliding intervention. Still San Diego in possession. To the top for Mike, but too heavy.
Just going down again, Lloyd Williams, center back for the Colorado Rapids. That'll be a concern. Great impact within the game overall, and just saw a point from the technical area down to the corner. And they have motion to 18-year-old Lucas Harrington to come back over. He's got his jersey on. In the process of doing so, at least, so there will be a change, probably an unwanted one, given the performance you've gotten out of the Spaniard. His debut in MLS play has been excellent. But when he goes up, he just lands awkwardly, the way that he comes down on it. It's a tough angle, a body presence, and just...
Did he catch a knee to the side of the thigh there?
I think it's on the ground, and the way that he lands. He's moving fine right now, though, I'll tell you that much. Woof. But they have kept Harrington up and moving down in front of us. They are going to make that change. It's also not the worst thing considering the lack of games overall, not just for this group, but for Lloyd Williams, who really hasn't played 90 minutes since April. Even further behind than the rest of the team. Nice ball there.
This is Anders Dreyer.
Give it back.
Driving it toward the back post. And flipped away by Reggie Cannon. It will be a corner kick. This will be the first corner on the night for San Diego, who are still looking for their first box touch of the game.
That's a better build overall, though. Just wondered with that overall run there, if you could have gone first post. If you're Ingvartsen, Drab, you open up space on the backside. You're the first to it, first option. Nice vertical threat, but also depth. It's better decision making.
Anders Dreyer's got 9 assists on the season. He lines up for this corner. In with the left foot. And a foul called. Ingvartsen took a shot, but he was guilty of the foul first. The Matchday live scores schedules are presented by AT&T. Cincinnati, their wild affair with a 4-3 win over Vancouver. Miami, without Messi and DePaul, got a 3-2 win over the Robert Lewandowski-led Chicago Fire. Orlando with a 2-0 lead at San Jose.
Ryan Richter, his tenure with the Philadelphia Union, starts off with a big 3-1 against Red Bull. Miguel Almiron, searching for his return to glory with the 5 stripes, grabbed an equalizer in the 76th minute, secured a point against Charlotte.
New York City got a win. Chicago suffered a loss. You and I will be in New York this weekend.
Nice ball there. Beautiful touch by Aronson.
This is Navajo, and they've got numbers. Georgie Monongo, blocked by Verhoeven. Promising attack for Colorado. Monongo again. Holding Line splitting pass. Navajo with a nice lead. This is Aronson into the area. Aronson clipping it back across. It's flicked up into the air by Tverskov. Manungu brings it down. There's a shot blocked by Tverskov off the foot of Hamzat Ojijaran. Manungu, byline. McVeigh side foots away this time. Better from Colorado in the build-up.
Much better. Quicker as they play vertical. Both players in Rafa Navajo and Paxton Aronson showing off their individual skill sets. Beautiful movement. Second and third runs that you get coming out of the midfield if it's Atencio. When Hamzat starts to release and gets himself into the box, there are just so many different angles you can attack from, but the most important thing is that you get depth. So you can play from the outside into the 9, near post, far post, top the 18. That's when the Rapids are at their best.
Seeley. Sargent with a sliding tackle to poke it out for a throw-in. Both of these managers, coaches wanted to see how their teams would respond when they needed to suffer. Either side's fallen behind in this game, but there's been some suffering. This time Colorado sending it long. McVeigh wins the header. Godoy flicks it back. Santos has to just put this one to safety.
Midfield a little bit slow right now for San Diego.
And there are options in the midfield for Mikey Varas on the bench.
It's just too slow. The movement defensively too slow. A ton of space that Rapids attackers have done a really good job of sliding into the pockets.
Some marquee matchups this week. Friday night baseball. Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies host the New York Yankees at 6:30 Eastern Time. Then at 7, the resurgent Boston Red Sox take on Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and the defending American League champion Toronto Blue Jays live on Apple TV. Seeley with it. Now Navajo. Touch let him down, and Godoy takes it back for San Diego. Ingvarsson undercutting Holding. Ingvarsson was such good goal-scoring form before the summer break. He just really hasn't had a chance to get involved in the attack at this point for San Diego. Over an hour gone. Still no shots for the visitors. No touches inside the opponent's penalty area. But they have yet to concede, so it's 0-0. Seeley in over the head of Navajo. Colorado stepping up the pressure again. Dua. Santos. Back to Dua. Godoy chopped down by Navajo, who's called for the foul. San Diego, they will always look to play short out of the pressure. And it's taken back by Colorado. And they make something of it now. Navajo. Seeley. Lighton closing him down from behind. Rapids back in possession. It's not a very well taken diagonal. Dreyer with some fancy footwork. Forward to Ingvarsson. Ingvarsson driving forward. Cuts it back. Valakari. Valakari with a nice first touch. And it's tipped up over the bar. That's a big-time save from Nico Hansen.
Only because of the goalkeeper. Is this not 1-0 for San Diego? That's beautiful movement, side to side. I love the touch. Cutting back across the body. Right here, reestablish a different angle. You get the defender bite on it. First step in front. Attack head on. But right on cue. Hansen, just beautifully done to step off the 6. Make himself big, close down that space, and eliminate the threat.
And Hansen's had almost nothing to do the entire match. That was the first box touch for San Diego, their first shot, and he had to be ready, and he was. So now a corner for San Diego. Got a man down inside the penalty area. Godoy went to ground. That can be tough for a keeper when you're kind of sitting back there the whole match, and all of a sudden you have to spring into action. He was ready.
Manungu and Godoy, bridging international relations.
I like that deep breath Chris Penso just took beforehand. Calming things down now as the corner comes in. Dreyer, out swinger. Flipped away by Manungu. Over the top intended for Dreyer. Got a good touch to it, or a first touch to it, I should say, but not good enough. It's out for a goal kick.
Certainly feels like it would be new blood coming for San Diego sooner than later. I mentioned the slow rate within the midfield. I wouldn't mind a change on the front line either. It's not going to be Dreyer, and you would imagine the target would be Ingvarsson, but Alex Mighton has struggled to keep presence within this game. Chasing too much defensively. It's prohibited him from really attacking in open space, which is in the areas he's in his best. Zemble, Lewis Morgan, all available.
Well, with that opportunity from Valakari, it was kind of a reminder from San Diego that for Colorado, even if they've had the better of the chances in this game, they haven't put anything away yet. All it takes is one moment. Could have found themselves easily down 1-0.
Recognizing the top-end quality for Mikey Veras' team isn't there in the return to play just yet. You've got malleability within this group, right? A guy like David Vasquez, where he's so versatile, playing in one of those pivot midfielders roles just in front of Jeppe Tverskov. He can play on the front line. Done that a couple of times. It's not the first choice selection, but all of a sudden you've got two inverted midfielders that can start clogging the middle. Place they've struggled in. Case in point.
There's Aronson. Now Seeley. Trying to get the overlap to Cannon. He clips it toward the back post. Manungu tracks it down. Now he drives toward the area. Scooping it toward the 6. Offside flag came up. It's into the back of the net. The referee had put his flag up before the shot was ever taken. And
the argument's probably going to be on Reggie Cannon on the ball from Manungu on the near touchline, but it's tight. Really, really tight.
Seeley wanted to go. The flag came up before the shot was ever taken as well. You can see the AR on the near side here, or maybe not.
Right there.
No.
Cannon has an impact on this play. Watch him over the back shoulder of Kieran Sargent. Oh, absolutely. Listen, for me, because he comes up behind Sargent and has an impact on the defender, that's why they call him offside. He's in an offside position. Not only does he not establish himself back onside, but he has an impact on the overall play itself. If he stays there and doesn't touch him, that's a goal.
Right.
But because he has overall involvement, that's why you have to call it back.
So the Rapids have had two different goals called back because of offside. One from Manungu in the first half, and now one from Seeley in the second. Sargent was running out of real estate. He wanted Mike to come get that ball, I think. starting to see the match maybe just open up here a little bit. Wasn't much action through the first 50, 55 minutes. Maybe they've saved the best for last. We got a couple of subs waiting to come in for San Diego. There's Dreyer. Bounces out to Verhoeven. Dreyer gives it back to Verhoeven. He's got time to pick his head up, puts it across, and a good save, and the rebound is wide. Well, the shot by Ingvarsson turned aside by Hansen. Rebound shot out for a goal kick. Hansen's made a couple of big saves here in the second half.
Rapids got to be careful. They've changed the build. They're dropping Hamzat a little bit deeper, and so within that luring pressure out, and as you try and play more direct, centrally bypassing lines, they're not clean enough. It's allowing San Diego FC to pick up passages higher up in play, much cleaner in their overall execution, and nearly create the opener.
Two subs for San Diego. Alejandro Alvarado Jr. on for Anibal Godoy. And Ian Murphy, the newly acquired defender from Colorado, comes in for Kieran Sargent.
Very interesting in the conversation with Mikey Valdez when he talked about the profile of Ian Murphy. Certainly Colorado Rapids fans will recognize what he's made of. They actually see him as more of this hybrid center back that they can utilize at the outside back position, and the success that is following for the Rapids on this near touchline. Ian Murphy at his best, his athleticism, getting him out in open space, defending, targeting one-on-one moments. They're having trouble with that right now. That's where he can benefit this team defensively.
Foul called this time against Sealy. Colorado look to be making their first substitution here shortly, but here comes San Diego again. It's Dreyer, now Mighton with the right foot, closed down by Holding that time. And then Sealy was fouled. Murphy just swatted that ball away after the foul too, so he's going to get an automatic booking for that. That's automatic.
Both Holding and Reggie Cannon called to action. Holding with the pressure. I think the actual final touch from Reggie Cannon. Just inside the 18. Either or, no matter. Well done. Why not let this live? Ian Murphy, job's done. No threat at all, and instead, possible hesitation down the stretch here for the newly acquired center back.
Attacking sub for Colorado as the homegrown Darren Yappy will come on for Georgie Manungu. Yappy, the 21-year-old. He was the youngest player in club history to sign as a first teamer. It's hard to believe he's already in his 6th year. He signed at 16 years old. But the ebbs and flows of this game have been interesting because San Diego had nothing. No touches in the penalty area, let alone shots, and all of a sudden, they've had 2 or 3 of the best chances of the game in a short period of time. A couple of big saves from Hansen. One to deny Ingvarsson, one to deny Valakari. Here is Valakari, now Mighton. Taken back, though, by Colorado. Good repress. Holding just lingering on the ball now, waiting for someone to step forward. Sealy got it through to Aronson. He comes driving forward. He'll put a ball in. McVeigh heads away.
Nice touch.
Jejiron. He's been good in the middle of the field for Colorado.
He's an absolute destroyer. Just love the work rate that he puts in deep lane spots in the midfield. Not afraid to push the tempo up high either. It's like a scouting report for you.
There's never been a scouting report. You have to play at a high enough level.
Analytics don't move that slow.
No. Dua trying to fight for it. 2 men go down. Navajo claiming he was fouled. Dua doesn't like the call.
I think if anything, it's the back end of this movement for Manu Dua. He does a really good job of establishing a dominant position, but watch the arm move away from the body for the center back from San Diego.
Dua was claiming he was fouled on the leg, stepped on from behind by Navajo. He was called for the arm, as you mentioned. Set piece for Colorado. Now the best assist of the match is presented by Lowe's. Our members score more, and there hasn't been an assist yet in this game. It's a near goal by Balakari, but the save from Hansen. We remain scoreless. Remaining in this one. There have been some spells where it's just been like this. A lot of walking around, a lot of standing. There's been a little more action here in the second half. San Diego's had a couple of chances. Again, Hansen making 2 big saves. Only 1 shot on target for Colorado so far in the match. And that was a relatively comfortable save from Dos Santos in the first half. Colorado's had 2 goals disallowed for offside. Now they try to go over the top. Tencio. Now Yappy. His touch lets him down. Maybe a little far in front of Navajo. Seeley driving forward. Brown took an awkward deflection off of Murphy. It's behind for a corner. There is to be a breakthrough in this one. Maybe it's going to need to come from a set piece. So we corner number 5 for Colorado.
They've got the numbers to play short here if they want to.
Once again, Chris Pensa going to have a word. Says, I don't want to talk to you, Verhoeven. AB conversation, see your way out. He's having a word with Williams right now.
Gotta get you a day job.
I'm looking for something here, partner. Now we go. He does want to talk to Verhoeven, or does he? And now he wants to talk to Navajo.
Meanwhile, Matt Wells still politicking in the Rapids technical area with the 4th official. He felt like it was a handball. I didn't see that. I felt it was the upper shoulder. This ball leading to the corner.
Seeley drives it in. Back post. It's over the head. Right back to Seeley. Twisting and turning. Scooping it in toward the back post. And over everyone out for a goal kick. This is the win probability. expanding drastically in the favor of a draw at this rate.
Interesting little change on the inside for San Diego last couple of minutes. You bring Alejandro Alvarado into it, and they've dropped him even deeper next to Tverskov, and Valakari has followed suit next to Dreyer, so they've boxed the midfield, gone man for man there, but they've also targeted the two center backs up high. The problem is they're not playing into them, San Diego. Vartson and Mighton both 1v1 with Williams and Holding, but not once have they actually tested that theory. So they've acquired the matchups that they've wanted, haven't tried to exploit. And this is the backside of it, where when you don't get it right and play in, you overexpose yourself on the width with the outside backs and their advanced roles.
Sealy. Atencio. Away from Atencio again. Cleared away. 80th minute, still scoreless.
You release wide. Be aggressive.
Now Cannon. Dua. Under pressure. Valakari got it to Mighton. Mighton wanted a foul. He doesn't get it. Atencio. Now here come Colorado. Shot blocked. Vey was in the right place that time. We'll see Thompson's effort was denied, and now Ingvartsen was grabbed and fouled.
Play quick to the far side. Another little adjustment by Mikey Vettis. You can hear the shouts in the background. Defensively wants to play with 5. Jeppe Tverskov now, instead of going with Alvarado, he'll occupy that center back role and instead eliminate more of the space on the outside. You bring Ian Murphy out. Verhoeven's already there. And now you have another man advantage up in.
Well, San Diego was a little slow to take that quick restart. Then when they tried to, Navajo tangled it up, so that's why Penso stopped it. Then they tried to take the restart. Penso brought it back. Kind of a microcosm of the stop-start nature of this match so far. Here's Dreyer. 9 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Is there a match winner in this? Is there a breakthrough in this one? Foul on Navajo. And it's going to be a yellow card.
Some credit here. Feels the pressure. Touch in a negative space. It's in front of the attacker. There's contact. Maybe not a ton, but certainly enough for the referee to blow the whistle. And finally, it looks to be a change coming on the front line for San Diego FC as Lewis Morgan has approached the technical area for the visitors.
Now, Lewis Morgan's a player that can bring some scoring punch. He's just had some rotten injury luck over the last couple years. Ball over the top, intended for Mighton. He's not going to be able to get there. It's out for a goal kick. And that'll bring us to the substitution. Lewis Morgan will come on for Ingvartsen. Morgan hasn't played since May 2nd. He's dealt with a lower body injury this year. He missed 2023 and 2025, both with long-term injuries. He's a player that's got 34 goals to his name in Major League Soccer play. We'll see if he can add some scoring punch here. Ingvartsen had been in such good form before the summer break, but just had the one chance really to get involved in this game. He was denied by Hansen.
The problem is, as the game continues to go with just inside 10 minutes, becomes more vertical. It doesn't favor Ingvarsson. Instead, Morgan's speed much more suitable for the pace of play.
Here's Sealy on the right-hand side. Onto his left foot. Top of the box. Aronson trying to poke it back through to Sealy. Taken away by Dua. And then a foul on Aronson. Dua's been a busy guy, and now a yellow card for Yappy.
To the restart with an infraction. On the left side of your screen pop up in front, take a touch. I'll take that, thank you.
So Yappy has his third yellow card on the season. Murphy goes all the way back to Dos Santos. Poor touch from Dos Santos, but Dua's able to track it down. Morgan. Some nifty dribbling on the far side by Verhoeven.
He's in.
See if this ball stays in. It does. Balakari. Some numbers in support, cutting back. Pass was too far in front of Morgan, taken right back by Colorado. Down to Vaho. Dua's had his number so far tonight. Wins it back this time. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Is there a breakthrough? Long range. Lottery ticket purchased by Dreyer, but it was touched by a Rapid, so San Diego have a corner coming up. Colorado want to make a couple of subs. Do they want to do it before the corner?
No. And don't disrupt that right now.
Right there.
You're toying with fate to make a defensive change on a restart.
I was thinking the same thing. A couple of the coaches in the technical area were signaling as if they wanted one before the corner. Pretty rare. It's going to be the corner first for San Diego. It's Dreyer in low. Just past the attempted header by Alvarado.
Evan Tversco behind the scenes is lobbying for being taken down just atop the sixth. Tough with all the traffic that was moving quite extreme in nature to the near post. There was a coming to just in front of Rafa Navajo.
Noah Cobb and Lucas Harrington are waiting to sub in while this play is being checked right now. It was Yepi Tverskov who was tangled up with Reggie Cannon. That's what's being checked right now. Devin and I can see it in our monitor.
It's tough though. We've got an angle just behind goal that will make its way to you. You have to take a look if you're Penso. The problem with the angle that we have right now is it's behind goalkeeper Nicholas Hansen from the Rapids and what looks to be the initial infraction.
Well,
the angle, it prohibits you from seeing it because it's in front of the goalkeeper. He's got the exact same look right now. So, left side of your screen, goalkeeper, yellow jersey, that's where the tangle comes in. That's fine right there, jostling for position. But as he goes to ground, all you see is the back end of it. Maybe a better look here.
Does Chris Penso see a clear and obvious error? The subject of the wrestling and hand play and all of that during corners has been a big one in world football over the past year.
I'll tell you though, that angle right there, the hands on the front end for Cannon, as the play continues to move forward, there's a motion there that looks like both start to come around Jeppe Tverskov and influence the shape of his body. It's tough.
Clear and obvious.
And the problem for me, if you're lobbying for the Rapids, is it starts ahead of time. I think you've got a real case here for a penalty. That last look right there, he pushes down on the end of it. Certainly wouldn't favor the defender.
Here's the announcement.
After review, there's no foul on the play. Restart will be thrown.
No foul, restart, no penalty.
I've seen it given for less.
I have, but I've also seen a lot more not given in the penalty area on corners.
Yeah.
That's the tough part for me there, Devin. There's so much wrestling and jostling that happens. Where do you draw that line's a difficult one.
And I would say that, listen, that there's certainly a coming to, right? Is it worth a penalty? You can't definitively tell that within the infraction when the two bodies collide that it influenced Tverskov's overall positioning. Now that could have also been embellishing, but we're not privy to a definitive angle where you can 100% say with all certainty, yeah, it's a pen. Tough either way.
3 countries, 2 leagues, 1 champion. Leagues Cup kicks off August 4th as MLS and Liga MX battle for the crown of North America. Your club needs to defend your colors. Get your tickets now at leaguescup.com. I guess, Devin, for me, by the way, the subs coming in, Lucas Harrington and Noah Cobb. So Cobb comes in for Cannon, the player that was the subject of that review. 6 minutes now of stoppage time after that video review to close out this game. The way this game has gone, to see it come down to that video review would have been a little bit of a shame to me. And here comes San Diego. It's Dreyer. Dreyer still blocked. So 2 changes on the back line for Colorado right as we go into stoppage time. Alvarado. Now Dreyer again. He is a danger man. Back to Alvarado. Driving it in low. And the first time he's called upon, that teenager Harrington makes a sliding tackle. There are reports out there linking Harrington to the likes of Liverpool, Manchester United, Barcelona. Here comes another ball in, and again Harrington turns it away, and it went under the foot of Verhoeven and out for a Colorado throw-in. And we got a couple of subs, 1 for each side now. Brian Zomble waiting to come on for San Diego, and Donovan Phillip, the forward from St. Lucia, making his MLS debut for Colorado. Maitenhoff for San Diego.
This is a chip in the chair type kid. Donovan Phillip. Rapids drafted him 62nd overall, 25 return for his senior year. Paid its dividends. NC State striker. Made it all the way to the College Cup final. Led Division I in goals. Was the ACC Player of the Year, an All-American, and the Matt Herman Award winner. That's college soccer's version of the Heisman. He's a powerful striker that can drive in a back line. With all the space that continues to open up, that's how they'll look to use him. Certainly thought the Zamblay up would have come sooner in front of us with White. Still time.
Phillip, 3 goals in 7 games with the Rapids, 2 this year as well. So he's shown scoring punch at the professional level since that draft pick. Seeley now back to Harrington. Halfway through the stoppage time. Still scoreless. Cobb forward. Sealy driving it in, side footed away by Alvarado. Cobb again. He'll scoop it in. This one goes off the head of Alicari. Header goes right to Dos Santos. He's not in any hurry to pick it up. San Diego, minutes away from a point away from home. They'll play out of the back again. Skip past Zamble. Harrington tracks it down. Well done this time, Hansen to get it to Cobb. Harrington picks up the foul. To Verskov. That's going to be a yellow card now for Morgan. Standing in the way of that restart.
That's smart by Harrington, to be fair. Morgan's positioning was wrong. He was slowly backing away. Harrington took advantage. Thanks for coming.
Harrison driving toward the corner, putting it back across a dangerous one, and it's off the post and in, and it's the newcomer, Loic Williams. It's stoppage time. It was worth the wait for the Colorado Rapids. The smile says it all. They had to suffer, but they've taken the lead at the very last moment.
A credit to Aronson. An unreal explosion down into the corner. Look at the space. Zamble's got a pinch over. Murphy comes too high. Beautifully taken into the channel. And as he does, watch the head. Up the entirety of the way. Always going to be on the cutback. How is there not pressure? Unlike Williams, Jeppe Verskov cannot close the space down quick enough, and instead just powers right through it into the hearts of San Diego. And what should be the game winner. Oh, Phillips got other ideas.
It's the newcomer Phillips now leading it for Yappy. Can Colorado add one? Yappy! Blocked by McVeigh. Back to Yappy, now Sealy. Into the 97th minute now. And it's out for a throw-in. And there's the final whistle. The Colorado Rapids make an addition over the summertime, and then late in stoppage time. That addition, Loic Williams, with his first MLS goal. It's a match winner, and the Colorado Rapids, they had to suffer for this one, but suffer they did, and they come away with all 3 points. The emotion from Loic Williams with his new team. He was brought in for defense, but he scores the match winner.
Now, there's an irony on the backside of this that for all the pressure they created up high, all the attacks wasted in the final third, the game winners come from your center back. But the message from head coach Matt Wells was that in times of need, the difficult moments where the game hasn't gone your way and you haven't been able to find a spot to break through, you need leadership. You need a player who can provide communication, words of inspiration to force that positive vision moving forward. And it's come courtesy of the Spaniard. The Unicorns shone bright tonight for the Colorado Rapids from the first whistle all the way to the dying deaths. And the Rapids roll onward.
The Rapids had to wait for the services of Loic Williams. They signed it back in late March from Granada. The Spanish defender finished off that season and then joined the team. And he is our player of the match as he scores the match winner. It was Paxton Aronson with a service.
Let's be very clear. Yeah, he's earned the moniker because of the game-winning goal at the tail end of it. But how many times tonight?
Colorado Rapids. Vamos, Colorado Rapids. Terminado. Colorado Terminado. Terminado. Night. Good. Colorado Rapids gana. Colorado Rapids 1, San Diego 0. Señor. Terminado.